The packed commuter train entered the station travelling at 16 miles per hour, but failed to slow down. Faulty brakes have been cited as a possible cause. The train then crashed into the buffers at the end of the line. Most of the dead and injured were in the first two cars, which bore the brunt of the impact.
The train arrived at rush hour packed with commuters. As these CCTV pictures show, it was unable to stop before smashing into the buffers. The second carriage crunched through the first. The authorities say it approached at normal speed, but at the last minute was unable to slow down.
People
started to break the windows and get out however they could. Then I saw the engine destroyed and the train driver trapped among some steel. There were a lot of people hurt, a lot of kids, elderly.
Transport officials are trying to work out what caused the crash. They say it may have been brake failure. They're not ruling out driver error. The man at the controls was young and had just started his shift. He was seriously injured, and an investigation is underway. For rescue workers, getting to those trapped alive was a priority. Hundreds were injured. Many of them were examined by medical staff at the scene to check for whiplash and possible broken bones. Nearby at the main national cathedral, mourners gathered to pray. The Archbishop described the incident as senseless and inexplicable. Whatever the cause, it has shocked the local community, one now seeking answers to the country's worst rail disaster in more than 30 years. Tom Esselmont, BBC News.
The packed commuter train slammed into the end of the line at Buenos Aires' busy Once station. It's thought to have approached the platform too fast and hit the barrier at the end of the line, doing about 20 kilometers per hour. Rescuers are looking for survivors who may be trapped in the jumble of metal and glass. Argentina's transport secretary has been giving more details.
The place where they are pulling people out is between the first and second stations. There are people trapped, there are people who are alive, and there could be some victims. We do not have a number.
Most damage was to the first car, where passengers usually make space for bicycles and large baggage. One of the carriages is said to have crumpled into another by as much as 6 meters. During the morning rush hour, Buenos Aires trains are usually packed with people standing in between the seats. Many were thrown into each other and onto the floor by the force of the hard stop. The injured, waiting to go to hospital, reported seeing train windows shattering as the tops of carriages separated from the floors. More than a dozen ambulances took the most seriously injured people to nearby hospitals. Argentina's railway system has a history of fatal accidents. Last September, a collision between a bus and a cement truck and a light rail train injured 90 people. 2 days before that, a crash between 2 passenger trains and a bus killed 11 people. John Terrett, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Señor, los periodistas están allá, por favor.
Morning rush in Buenos Aires turned into a bloody mess in what's believed to be Argentina's worst train crash in decades. A packed commuter train plowed into a platform at this busy station, smashing the front of the train and crunching several other cars behind it. Rescue workers scrambled to pull people from between the crushed cars, but many were killed on impact.
I was shocked. It was full of blood. There were injured people everywhere, bodies flying.
People started to break windows and get out however they could. Then I saw the engine destroyed and the train driver trapped amongst the steel. There were a lot of people hurt, a lot of kids, elderly.
Argentina's transport secretary told reporters on the scene that the train may have lost its brakes as it sped into the station.
The place where they're pulling people out is between the first and second stations. There are people trapped. There are people who are alive, and there could be victims.
Authorities say this is the country's worst train accident since 1970 and the fifth crash since December 2010. Despite that, thousands of Argentinians travel by train into the capital from the suburbs every day. Luis Carlos Vélez, CNN, New York.
星期三，阿根廷布宜诺斯艾利斯发生一起火车事故，造成49人死亡，600多人受伤。这是阿根廷30多年来最严重的铁路事故。目前救援工作仍在继续，具体死亡数字可能还会上升。
事故发生在早晨上班的高峰时间，一辆火车以每小时26公里的速度冲进车站，撞上缓冲物，导致第二节车厢插进第一节车厢。阿根廷媒体报道，当时这辆火车上有超过800名乘客。当局证实，事故造成了49人遇难。事故发生后，数十辆救护车挤满了车站外面的街道，数百名受伤的人们被紧急送往医院。 紧急医疗系统负责人克雷申蒂说，医务人员正在治疗大量的伤患，截肢、各种创伤、呼吸和心跳停止、胸部的各种创伤，这样的相撞事故中一切你所能想象的。官员说，怀疑火车刹车失灵造成了这次事故。阿根廷破旧和拥挤的铁路服务由私企运营，靠国家大量补贴，一直受到事故和延误的困扰。 新台记者韦清一综合报道。